Bandits kill 13 worshippers in Katsina mosque attack. Court sets September 10th for bail hearing for Owo Church attack suspects. 9 feared dead in Ebonyi communal clash. And on the foreign scene, airstrikes, ground offensive target Al-Shabaab hideout in Somalia. Hello, good evening and welcome to News Update on Trust TV. I am Fatima Ahmed Musa. Thank you so much for joining us. And now we start on a sad note. The Katsina state government has beefed up security following a tragic bandit attack that killed 13 worshippers in a mosque on Tuesday at the Malumfashi local government area of the state. Report says the bandits who were on a reprisal attack shot at the worshippers at the Ungwam Mantau community, leaving 13 dead. The State Commissioner for Internal Crisis and Homes Affairs, Nasir Maaz, told journalists on Tuesday that the state government announced immediate security reinforcement and support measures following a tragic incident. According to him, the incident occurred when criminal elements launched a reprisal attack on the community. Now, the Kaduna State Police Command has arrested 13 suspected cattle rustlers and recovered 27 rustled cattle in a major breakthrough against banditry in the state. The arrests were made on Sunday, August 17, 2025, following credible intelligence and received by Divisional Police Officer DPO of Tollgate Division. According to a statement by the Police Public Relations Officer of the command, DSP Mansur Hassan, an operation which followed an intelligence report led to the recovery of 3 vehicles transporting the rustled cattle. Hassan said one of the suspects confessed to receiving stolen cattle from a notorious bandit known as Lago, who is currently on the police wanted list. He also admitted to having received over 50 rustled cows from one Abdullahi of Rijana, who is said to be on the run. 5 men accused of masterminding the 2022 Owo Catholic Church attack that killed over 40 worshippers have applied for bail. The defendants Idris Abdul Malik Omeza, Al-Qasim Idris, Jamio Abdul Malik, Abdullahim Idris, and Momo Otoho Abubakar are facing a 9-count terrorism charge before the Federal High Court. Prosecutors allege that the men are members of an Al-Shabaab cell in Kogi State and were behind the deadly assault on St. Francis Catholic Church in Ondo State, carried out with explosives and assault rifles. At Tuesday's hearing, Justice Emeka Nwete granted the federal government's request to shield the identities of witnesses, citing security concerns. Defense lawyers, however, urged the court to grant accused bail, insisting they would provide credible sureties and will not evade trial. The prosecution opposed, warning that the suspect posed a flight risk. The court has fixed September 10th to rule on the bail application. And now no fewer than 9 people have been reportedly killed as a result of a bloody rift between the people of Ebiam Ekpa Omaka and the people of Inyemagu, both in the Ikwo local government area of Ebonyi State. In the ensuing crisis, many houses, economic trees, and other properties were burnt. The State Police Public Relations Officer, SP Joshua Okandu, who confirmed the incident, which he blamed on lingering dispute between the 2 warring communities, however, decried the scale of destruction. The PPRO said the police had met with stakeholders of the affected communities for peaceful resolution of the crisis prior to the attack. He promised to reach out to the stakeholders again, including the incumbent Speaker of the Ebonyi State House of Assembly, Moses Ije, to first forestall further loss of lives and property. Now, the Kano State Police Command has arraigned no fewer than 333 suspected political thugs, including some government officials, arrested for attempting to disrupt Saturday's election in Gari, Bagwai, and Shanono local government areas. The State Commissioner of Police, Ibrahim Adamu Bakori, disclosed this while briefing journalists at the command headquarters in Bompai. The prosecution is coming as the police arrested 10 suspected cultists who tried to disrupt the election in Ogun. Bakori said the suspects were charged before the different magistrate courts for offences ranging from criminal conspiracy, orderly conduct, possession of offensive weapons, intimidation, and snatching or destruction of election materials. Recovered items include 1 pump action rifle, 5 locally made guns, 94 long sticks, 16 swords, 18 cutlasses, 32 barandami weapons, 18 knives, 1 bow, and 22 arrows, 27 catapults, 45 stones, and 14 vehicles. Also recovered were 2 ballot boxes, 163 thumb-printed ballot papers, and cash amounting to 4.48 million allegedly meant to induce voters. The Zamfara State chapter of the All Progressives Congress has dismissed allegation by the People's Democratic Party that it used military personnel to intimidate voters during the Kaura Namoda South by-election. APC's public secretary in Zamfara, Yusuf Idris, told journalists in Gusau that the claims were baseless, describing them as a desperate attempt by the PDP to cover up what he called a looming defeat. He said security personnel were only deployed to maintain order and stop electoral malpractice, accusing the PDP of smearing security agencies to discredit the process. The APC maintained that voters in Kaura Namoda South came out in large numbers to support its candidate, insisting the result so far reflects its popularity ahead of the 2027 general elections. Although INEC declared the poll inconclusive, the party says the outcome proves the people's rejection of the PDP in Zamfara State. The United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, has called on Nigerians to actively engage in humanitarian services to help close the funding gap created by the recent cuts in U.S. assistance and other foreign aid, which has severely affected humanitarian operations across the country. Speaking during the commemoration of World Humanitarian Day in Maiduguri, UNICEF warned that the reduction in funding could force it to scale down its operations, leaving millions of children vulnerable to disease outbreaks, climate change, and attacks by non-state armed groups. The agency added that the situation could further worsen displacement, food insecurity, and child malnutrition in the region. UNICEF's chief of Maiduguri Field Office, Francis Butichi, revealed that the agency has received only $95 million out of the $225 million budgeted for its 2025 humanitarian programs, leaving a shortfall of $160 million, while urging governments, partners, and stakeholders to increase their support. Butichi also appealed to Nigerians to participate in local humanitarian efforts through donations, volunteering, and advocacy.
For instance, we have to make very difficult choices. We will be, normally we treat malnutrition for all under 5 children. Yeah. But if we don't get the required funding, we might have to make difficult choices, like to only target under 2 years. What will happen to the 3 to 5 years children? This is a very difficult decision to make.
Now, the Adamawa State government has commenced the 2026-2028 multi-year budget defense, reaffirming its commitment to fiscal prudence, transparency, and accountability in driving the state's development. Declaring the exercise open, the Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning, Emmanuel Pridimso, said the budget goes beyond being a financial document, describing it as a strategic blueprint that translates the government's vision and policy objectives into tangible projects and services for the people of Adamawa. He added that the multi-year The current budget deliberation will lay a solid foundation for the state's progress over the next 3 years. The permanent secretary in the Ministry of Information and Strategy, Solomon Kumangar, explained that the budget defense is an integral part of the Fintri-led administration's process to guarantee transparency and accountability, guided by the philosophy that no one is left behind and nothing is left untouched. As the world marked World Photography Day, photographers in Jigawa State took to the streets of Dutse, the state capital, in colorful celebration of the art. The event brought together professionals and budding talents from across all 27 local government areas, showcasing photography not only as a passion, but also as a thriving source of livelihood. The report.
The celebration was organized by the Office of the Special Assistant to the Governor on Photography and Publication, Ismail Muhammad Dutse. He explained that the day was dedicated to promoting the value of photography in society and encouraging more young people to embrace it as a profession.
This is the first time in Jigawa State that a governor has appointed a special assistant on photography, and we feel recognized. Even local government chairmen are now doing the same. At least, we the youth are being employed. Before, we used old, outdated analog cameras, but now we have modern ones. We are happy with this improvement, and we are proud of our work.
The photographers later paid a courtesy visit to Governor Malam Umar Namadi at the government house. In his remarks, the governor praised their creativity and determination, acknowledging the vital role of photographers in documentation, storytelling, and cultural preservation. He particularly commended the large number of young people in the delegation, describing them as both an inspiration and a sign of hope for the future.
I want to use this opportunity to once congratulate all of you, the photographers in Jigawa State, for seeing this day and celebrating this day. I think it's very, very important. I think your initiative to celebrate this day is a testament that you are existing. Not only that you are existing, you stand to be professionals. And that will definitely send a message to everybody that there is an association called Photographers Association of Nigeria Jigawa State Branch.
Governor Namadi further assured the photographers of his administration's commitment to support and empower them, stressing that their work contributes significantly to youth development, innovation, and economic growth.
We are photographers. Many of us own companies. We feed our families and live through the photography business. And we also support others who earn a living under us in this profession.
The World Photography Day celebration in Jigawa went beyond cameras and lenses as it became a powerful statement of identity, unity, and opportunity for the state's vibrant community of photographers.
You're still watching News Update on Trust TV. Coming up after the break. Bauchi parents struggle to keep children in summer classes amid economic hardship. There's some more when we return. To stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is News Update on Trust TV. In case you missed it, here's a recap of our top stories again. We told you that bandits killed 13 worshippers in Kasana Mosque's attack. Court set September 10th for bail hearing for Ower Church attack suspects. And now we'll move on to more stories. Nigerian parents have continued to juggle time, finances, and different strategies to keep their children engaged, especially through summer classes organized by school proprietors. But the rising economic hardship, particularly the high cost of transportation, has emerged as a major challenge during this long holiday. Trust TV's Adamu Imam reports on how parents in Bauchi State are coping with these challenges in this holiday.
Parents in Bauchi State say the challenges of organizing summer school stem not only from financial strain, but also from what they describe as a lack of commitment and passion for children's education in some quarters. They add that the current economic reality in Nigeria has made it even harder to engage children in constructive activities, while some parents now prioritize basic needs over extracurricular activities or summer classes. They are urging organizers to consider more affordable alternatives.
Let them to make it in affordable price that even the poor people, they can bring their children to get that kind of summer classes.
They can go out and they will be roaming around. You don't even know what your child is up to. But if you send your child to a summer lesson, even if it is a 2-3 hours, at least the child learns something.
Have been lost in the course of time. So there is need for the syllabus to be covered. And we understand the need for the summer lessons.
On the other hand, school proprietors highlight the benefit of the program, saying summer classes help boost children's morale and academic performance. Actually, we struggle with students coming late, and despite our efforts in organizing such classes to assist them, the challenge persists. We also understand the current economic realities, which more often than not create serious setbacks.
We are suffering from some parents that they are asking us that they are telling us that the money that we are collecting is too much, but the money is not too much, considering the knowledge that we are imparting today.
The problem they are actually telling us is the aspect of paying of transportation. The school is far. Those who are coming all the way from Yelwa will definitely have to complain. We tried our best to see that we provide the school bus, and it was unable to. We were unable to see that we provided that because the number was not there.
Some students also shared their experiences and spoke on the various activities they take part in during summer classes.
Lesson, especially during math classes, there are some things I don't understand, but as a result of the summer lesson, I understand more about mathematics, English, and all of that subject it is also in summer lesson.
You learn something special that you can use in your next school, your next class.
Some of the things that is so difficult, you understand it most. Like when they resume school now, now we not attend the lesson. When they resume school, it will be so hard for you to understand. But this lesson came so great, and you understand things easily.
Many observers believe that both parents and teachers are grappling with the same economic challenges, but still acknowledge the positive impact of summer class initiatives. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
And now the Director General of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCA, Captain Chris Najomo, has stated that henceforth, passengers must switch off their phones before flight takeoff and landing. This was disclosed by the Director, Consumer Protection and Public Relations, Michael Achimogo, on his X handle on Tuesday. According to the directive, all airlines must amend their security programs to reflect this if different in their current programs, adding no more airplane mode until regulations are reviewed to reflect evolving technological situations. The NCA announcement is coming on the heels of the recent unruly behavior by Ms. Comfort Emerson on Ibom Airline and Fuji Music star Wasiu Ayinde, popularly known as Kwamwan, on ValueJet aircraft. And now in business, the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority has identified poor electricity supply as a major challenge stalling Nigeria's electric mobility transition. The agency also pointed to high cost of electric vehicles and limited infrastructure as key barriers. Speaking at the webinar organized by the Major Energies Marketers Association of Nigeria on the theme Accelerating Electric Mobility Adoption in Nigeria by Unlocking Downstream Potential, the Director of Operations, Distribution System, Storage and Retailing Infrastructure at NMDPRA, Munkaila Hussaini, situated Nigeria's EV journey within a global context, referencing the International Energy Agency's forecast of 145 million electric vehicles worldwide by 2030. He said the barriers slowing EV adoption in Nigeria includes high vehicle cost, limited charging infrastructure, unreliable grid electricity, and low public awareness. Hussaini stressed that without urgent intervention, the country may struggle to keep pace with the global energy transition. And now away from Nigeria, Somalia security forces say they have killed dozens of Al-Shabaab fighters in a major operation in the country's south. The military offensive led by Somali's elite Danab unit targeted hideouts in the lower Shabelle region late Sunday. The fighting lasted into the early hours of Monday and included airstrikes on militant positions. Officials say the raid are part of renewed operations against Al-Shabaab strongholds in central and southern Somalia, backed by African Union peacekeepers. However, progress has been limited as the withdrawal of some foreign troops have enabled the militants to retake abandoned bases and continue attacks in urban centers, including the capital, Mogadishu. And now in sports, Nigerian international Ademola Lookman has returned to Bergamo and rejoined Atlanta training after several days of absence that fueled transfer speculations. The 27-year-old winger reportedly stayed away from training without permission as he attempted to force a move to Serie A rivals Inter Milan. His decision was followed by a strongly worded statement in which he accused Atlanta of breaking promises and treating him unfairly as both a professional and a human being. However, the transfer saga appears to have cooled after Inter Milan pulled out of negotiations, with reports suggesting that they failed to reach an agreement with Atlanta. Atlanta CEO Luca Pacassi later clarified that while there was an understanding for Lookman to leave this summer, it was strictly limited to big clubs outside Serie A, an arrangement that effectively ruled out a deal with Inter. His reintegration comes as the club considers possible disciplinary action for his unauthorized absence. And with that, we have come to the end of News Update on Trust TV. Do not forget to watch and catch us across all our social media platforms for more news, programs, and documentaries. I am Fatima Ahmed Musa. Thank you for watching.